Why, hello there.
This be our house that we rented, so we're gonna give you a house tour. This is ET Productions.
Hello.
Productions.
Getting ready to go to Walmart.
And I don't know where John T is, but he's somewhere.
Oh, Spookwedo money is inside.
Can I say who I am?
He doesn't have a channel.
No, but he will actually
Okay.
when he turns
Money
like 8 or
move.
9. What's your name?
Money move.
Money Wolf.
Money move.
We got
We
a
got an
pond.
amazing 10 out of 10 quality bathtub.
We also have like 90 acres of hiking trails.
Oh, we're gonna be
It
making
didn't
a
eat
movie
anything.
called Killer Cabin. Make sure to watch that.
This is $1 million like house
Here you go.
mansion. Take your shoes off.
You must. It is the rules.
Yeah. This is our bathroom. Has a clawfoot tub and then a walk-in shower. There's a tiny loofah at the bottom.
Also, a secret door.
Bottom.
And I could fit through it. Want to see me?
No, hold on. No.
You're gonna break it. I'm not gonna get. No. Shut it.
Okay, that was the bathroom. There's a lot of dead animals in here.
Disclaimer to any furries: stop watching.
We're recording something. There's that thing. This is our living room.
A dead squirrel over here. Ad revenue.
John.
There's at least about 20 dead animals in here.
I feel like I want to put a plastic bag over my head.
He wants to eat cotton candy.
It's a small bedroom. It's pretty small. Upstairs is the loft. It looks over this.
Also, if you want your taxes done, come to my website.
He's an accountant.
Yes.
4 beds, 4 beds. Oh,
So that's a cabinet. This
Well,
one
that's
actually
scary.
leads to space.
it leads to nothingness.
I don't
Which is really
think so.
scary because you think a hobo's gonna come out at night and rape you.
Ceiling!
And we also have a pocket knife to defend us if there's any animals that come alive at night and try to eat us.
Here's my bed. Very easy to hide under. This is a king or a foal. Turn on the lights. Okay, so this is where I'm sleeping.
And
Under the stairs.
Hashtag Harry Potter, if you know what I'm talking about.
Hashtag no terrors.
full table,
Yes.
the bar.
Stop! Stop!
I'm gonna be a school.
Oh yes,
And here's a barrel made into a couch and our Christmas tree. And a Santa Claus inside our shed. Why are you listening to a Halloween song, but it's not Halloween?
It's outside. It's
we need to not inventory in here. Oh god.
A little shopping cart. That's so cute.
There's an FBI warning if you record this.
I shot it 6 times.
Shot him 6 times.
Straight towards that white building, and then we'll turn around.
Cole, you're getting raised there.
Kill the squeaky rat. Squeaky rat! Squeak it! We're going to a ghost tour. I'm showing everyone pictures of Michael Jackson's house, the Neverland Mansion, just to be prepared in case he is still alive. I need to tell them and prepare them for just in case if he tries to like take Cole or something. Michael Jackson would let people sleep in his master bedroom, and the kids would be like, great, I get to sleep in Michael Jackson's bedroom.
But with that being said, if you guys are ready to go on a ghost tour, we're going to follow in.
We have a typical jail, obviously. The main jail was over at Fort Edward. That's where they kept the prisoners, and that's where they did the executions. But for here, they decided mostly to keep the people shackled up. That was the best way to keep them from stealing. But these guys would be hanging here and left here pretty much whatever happened. Our next spirit is a green orb, and a lot of your phones are going to project a green dot. This is a distancing light. It's quite common with iPhones especially. We like to mention this because usually there are like a single dot. So if it looks like it's bigger than a dot, it's probably an orb. This orb makes its way around here and down towards the well. Now, a lot of people like to link orb colors to emotions. Here at the fort, we link them to what their battalion might have been. So for the green, it would have been Rogers Rangers. They were a specific group. They did a lot of spy work for the fort. While we go through this tour, you guys are going to discover something about us. We're not creative. His name's Limpy. He has a limp. That's it. He walks around these bastions probably because a lot of the disabled people here, they would still be put to work, so he's probably just doing the grunt work here. Back in 2000, we had the Ghost Hunters. They were staying over in the West Barracks, doing their investigative stuff, and they started hearing the sound of someone limping above them. Now, understandably, they investigated it. They ran upstairs and started looking around. They found the spot that they were looking for. It was actually behind a display case that was locked. So it wasn't something that someone could have just slipped in and limped around. So it was dug 25 feet down. They were looking to get some of that really nice lake water behind us. Instead, they got swamp water. If you don't know, swamp water is disgusting and also toxic, so not something you can really drink. The reason they couldn't just walk outside and grab a bucket of that lake water was because it was actually being used as a toilet for the people that were staying out there. Sometimes we do get those spirits heading down these bastions here, coming to get this water, not realizing that they were really putting a nail in their coffin.
We had a person on a paranormal investigation one evening. She was a blonde and she had her hair in a ponytail. She went down here to set up some equipment. As she went down in there, she felt her hair be pulled a little bit. She booked it right out of here and didn't come back. The paranormal group has come back, but she did not return. We didn't really tell that story because sometimes weird stuff happens. But since then, it's happened quite a few times, which is now why we are telling you these stories. And this actually happened on one of Amanda's tours just this summer. She had a couple girls that were really interested in this story. They were determined to get their hair pulled by this spirit. They kept running up and down this hallway here. Nothing happened. We came back at a later tour, and they're like, all right, we're going to try this again. Sure enough, she got her hair pulled as she wanted. At the fort, they were sent on scouting missions up the lake to see the progression of the French. This group sailed up the lake one day. They got to a section called Sabbath Day Point. You can still go there today, where they were met with a thick fog. They decided that they were going to send a couple guys up forward to see what was going on, make sure everything was safe. When these men didn't return, they decided that there was safe passage, so everybody decided to go into the fog. We've all watched horror movies, right? We know we don't go into the fog. Unfortunately, what was waiting for them were Native Americans on canoes or just waiting in the water, pulling the men off their boats and drowning them. Be careful in this hallway when you take photographs, though. Our phones like to project those green distancing dots, but very frequently in this hallway, so please be careful.
You guys will be able to see that we're not that far off from where the original foundation of the fort was. But our first spirit is involved with that area because she was the baker. So she had to bake food on the fire. Her name is Mary. Not really, we just named her Mary because that was the most popular female name in that time period. She's kind of an interesting spirit because she's the only ghost that we can smell. If you smell something red or yeasty, that's Mary. She's often felt kind of moving in a circular pattern throughout this area because she had to make food for about 250 people, so she's incredibly busy all the time. She's also not terribly polite. She's told people to get out of the way and move it. We still get him sometimes. Usually he's inside of here, just kind of keep count. There are 4 mannequins, one of them's laying down. If you suddenly get 5 mannequins, it's probably, to stop.
He was was interesting because the only name that was never erased from these chalkboards is Captain R. Saltonstall. So that's the first name on the top left. All these names on the list are actual men that would have been fighting during the day of August 1st of 1757. We know that Captain R. Saltonstall is the only one that would have survived of these men that are on this board because we're nerdy here and we like to do research. And we do also have paranormal researchers that come down in here, and something that they do is called EVP, is electronic voice phenomena. Essentially what it is it takes the frequencies and it assigns a letter to certain frequencies. And when these frequencies line up and create words, it displays it for them. One of the words that kept coming up time after time was Jacob. Now, if you guys take a second to look at the duty roster, the second name on the right is Private Jacob Hardy. So what we think is happening down here is Private Jacob Hardy's spirit is left and he is erasing the names as the men can no longer report to duty as they die. That would be why Captain R. Saltonstall's name remains the only one unerased, because he's the only one that survived. So it's a very interesting story. This room is very creepy in itself, but we do have a lot of orbs down here. This is where the massacre would have happened, so it would make sense that it's a very orb-heavy location. There's at least going to be one of you guys that gets a true orb if you guys all take photographs. This was a Civil War era surgeon's table. This table was passed down and eventually donated to the fort this year, but everybody in this woman's family was embalmed on this table, including herself. They say that you can still see where the blood has soaked into the wood grain through the years if you shine a black light on it. And people who lie upon it can feel like very tingly. Sometimes they get a headache and get nauseous. The stairs, he was the last up. He felt something go up his back. At the top of the stairs, his family lifted up his shirt, and he had 3 scratch marks from his shoulder to his hip. We had a couple of kids down here. We were standing, the tour guide was standing here talking, and we can kind of see kind of what this little dude did here. They were kind of looking, and he kind of made like weird movement as if he had been scratched himself. Sure enough, he had been scratched, however, it was on the back of his calf. Females get scratched on their lower back. And it's peculiar because the scratches are very thin. They're not like, you know, somebody scratching with your fingers. They're very thin. Round 2. Wait, I think I saw it.
Bots. I don't feel anything.
No, don't wreck my pants.
So guys, we just found a Caterpillar D4. It looks like it's maybe like a bulldozer.
We also found an abandoned car.
Let me try it.
Oh, you broke the brick. Fight, 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 fight.
It's having a baby soon. Or did it swallow another frog? I got a big chungus.
Be careful. No, don't hurt it.
Poor Scrabby. You did do a trick. No, Scrabby, don't do this to me. La da 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 da. La da da.
Let's go!
No, you squeezed it. No, it's alive. You killed Kermit the Frog.
Try to keep it in your mouth.
No. This is just normal goldfish.
Here, wait.
This
You
is a
want,
Mickey Mouse goldfish.
you want Mickey Mouse?
Uh-huh.
Here.
I want it catching in my mouth. Look at my tooth.
You look like you're on crack. The Mickey Mouse one. Eat the rat.
Oh, wait, I can see it.
Get the kitchen tiles and under that.
It won't get out.
Lick it.
I didn't do it.
It's every day, bro.
Shut up.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet.
Snap.
Shit.
Don't open it.
What did he do? He pissed off.
And the bees.
He pissed off them.
Do anything. He's like, yeah.
Nicole's hat.
Steal it.
Let's ride. Cowboy looks good on the tap out. Now, lift. Set your feet. Is he going to be there? Yes, he is. A figure eight. He drops it in, holds it up, straight up and down in a vertical base.
48 feet of rope.
Side the mountains in Las Vegas. Fouling Nevada Cowboy. Tennessee Cowboy for the volunteer state. Another little bitty girl. But she's not afraid of cheering to come out of that saddle on that turn. Pulling it back over. She's running that saddle. Supply. Here we go. Wide back. Here we go. Extra powerful. George comes out. Cowboy slides back. Pulls himself back up. And the bull turns back right into latch. Cowboy sets up. Keep lifting. Keep shuffling. And got another one. Cowboy in trouble. Caleb Carpenter. Hang on, Cowboy. That's the trouble. Eating mud. Here comes the black ball. Yeah.
Come on.
Where are you taking me? Oh my god, what happened? Oh my god, what happened? You can't go back out there, you'll get killed. You can't go back out there, you'll get killed. You can't go back out there, you'll get killed. You can't go back out there, you'll get killed. You can't go back out there, you'll get killed.
What was that?
I don't know. 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 I don't know.
Just say it.
Alright. Jinky!
No, you gotta be like, Jakey!